Eric Adams, how you feeling?
Good, out in the street, meeting voters. We'll be in the Bronx today, out in Queens, and, doing what I do, working hard like New Yorkers are working hard every day.
All right, we got to ask you because a lot of people watched the debate and they were concerned by your answer to one question, which actually Curtis Sliwa was also interested in. Okay, play that videotape right now.
F. The guy has been a miserable failure. He has single-handedly taken a Miley Cyrus wrecking ball to the city that we love.
And I would give him a B+.
Okay, so everybody is wondering, were you being nice by giving the mayor a B+, or that's how you really feel?
Of course I was being nice, but at the same time, I was specifying some areas that I thought was, listen, there's been some places we failed, but those areas like pre-K is a B+. Those areas like municipal ID is a B+. So it's difficult when you give someone an overall grade. And listen, I'm not a good grader. I'm not a teacher. I'm running to be the mayor of the city of New York. And it's not what happened in the past. It's the future of this city. And I'm excited about what's to come.
Okay, so if people are concerned, are you going to be more of a mayor like de Blasio or Bloomberg?
Well, let's keep clear. People are not concerned. That's why I won that grueling Democratic primary. People are clear on the strong public safety, strong education, strong pro-business, a strong healthcare system. Listen, we know how grueling that primary was. Everyone's landed their plans and stated they listened to Eric Adams. I won that primary. There's no concern in this city.
Bloomberg or de Blasio? Are you leaning more towards?
I'm going to be Eric. They wore their pair of shoes. I'm going to wear my pair of shoes. I'm not Bloomberg. I'm not de Blasio. I'm not Dinkins. I'm not Koch. I'm Eric Adams. And I have my own pair of shoes for this city, and I'm going to walk every neighborhood to prove it.
Mr. Adams, I do want to say, though, that people are concerned in the city. We talk about rising crime rates, and those are some things that you're going to have to address, even though it has happened in the past. I do want to ask you, though, as a former NYPD cop, can you put yourself in some of the shoes of these police officers that are now facing being fired because they don't want to get the vaccine mandate? On top of that, what's worse is that you have Governor DeSantis in Florida offering them $5,000 to relocate to Florida because they don't want to get the vaccine and they can move down there, and he said that he treats them better and will allow them to work there. So how do you deal with that as, possibly the future mayor? You have an opportunity to give someone $5,000 to relocate to Florida or $500 to get a shot that they don't want. What would you do with that?
Well, let's be clear on something. I know law enforcement because I did wear that uniform and that bulletproof vest and protected our children in cities and our children and families in this city. And I'm also clear on this. I was on the ground during COVID, and you covered these stories during COVID. I know what happened when family members dropped their loved ones off to hospitals, never to see them again. Our economy was devastated during COVID. The most potent weapon we have against a virus that is going to be here for many years, I believe, is a vaccination. I am going to sit down, if I'm the mayor, I will sit down with my union leadership, find out what their concerns are. And those real fringe 1%ers who are stating no matter what happens, they don't want to take the vaccine, that's their decision. But I believe we could come to a meeting of the mind with the union leaders and get to a place that everyone is comfortable. They have some concerns, and we should find out what those concerns are. And that is what I'm going to do. But this city must be safe. And I am not going back to the days of watching my city shut down and the devastation to families and children over COVID-19.
So let's talk about day one. Say if this happens to go in your favor, you step into this office. What is the #1 thing on the agenda for you to address right away?
What I've stated throughout the years is being safe. We're going to immediately go after the gun violence in this city, the gang violence in this city. We're going to let people all across this country that New York is open for business. We're going to start getting our people employed. But to do all of this, to have safe subways, to have safe schools, you can't have guns in school. You can't have 13 years old children being stabbed in libraries. So we have to create a safe environment for this city. And that is what I'm going to focus on day one, to make sure we have the right police commissioner, make sure we have the right deployment of our police officers. And once we're safe, we can build on everything after that.
Curtis Sliwa went after you the other night because you were meeting with gang leaders. Are you meeting with gang leaders, and what kind of message does that send?
That's the right message. Think about it for a moment. Eric Adams protected the city and stopped crime. Curtis Sliwa faked crimes. Curtis Sliwa faked a kidnapping, faked a robbery. We need to really understand what this man has done. So here's what I'm doing, and I've stated this for a long time. On the campaign trail, I talked about sitting down with gang leaders and saying, I need you to stop the violence. I need you to get out of gangs. What is holding you back from doing so? That's the problem. We have reached a point in this city and country where we're no longer willing to talk. We have drew lines, we're on both sides of the fence and pulled and divided our city and country. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to reach across aisles. I'm going to reach across communities. I'm going to communicate with every group in this city because I know it starts with the conversation. And I'm really proud that I'm willing to sit down with anyone in this city to see how we could resolve issues.
All right, you know education is very important to a lot of people, some concerned about gifted and talented. Would you keep schools chancellor Misha Porter?
Well, first of all, you should put your concerns to the side because we're going to expand opportunities for accelerated learners, but we're also going to look at those children who have impediments to educations like dyslexia, learning disabilities. So we're not filling our prisons with the failures of education. I'm going to look at every position in the city if I am the mayor and determine who's best suited for that position, qualification, dedication, and commitment. And a term that I use often, emotionally intelligence. Who is emotionally intelligent enough to move our city with me in the right direction? And so I'm not in a position now of who's going to fill those positions yet. We will come to a conclusion.
So speaking about schools, we're seeing this vaccine about to be approved for kids ages, 5 to 11 or younger. What do you predict happening next year, next fall when kids are going back to school or next spring? Are you going to implement vaccines mandatory for kids to just go back to in-person learning?
Well, it was crucial for me for the FDA to have an approval. We're going to spend a massive amount of energy educating our parents on the vaccine, what it means, how vaccines have saved millions of people. Think about if we did not have a polio vaccine, if we did not have mumps and measles. This is a country where we use medicine to save lives. And I want to really bring parents with me on this journey. And I know there's concern. We talk about children. I know how I feel about my son and how I'm concerned about whatever happens to him. But I'm not going to do what Curtis is doing. Curtis is dangerous in how he is spreading some of the fear in the city. And I'm really concerned about that. And so I'm going to communicate with my parents, medical professionals, so that we can come to the right conclusion on how to move this forward. But I'll be completely honest with you. My Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, my pediatricians, my medical professionals, they're going to drive my healthcare policies because they are the experts.
All right, we're going to have Curtis Sliwa on in the interest of fair time this morning. He'll be coming up in the next hour. Wanted to ask you, if you could ask Curtis Sliwa a question, what would it be? This is your opportunity.
I have no questions for Curtis Sliwa. Listen, I want to use my time speaking to voters. Let him do what he does with all of his antics. I am straight ahead focused. Days away from Election Day. This has been a long journey. I am moving towards the American dream. This is an amazing country, and I'm just excited about the opportunities to serve this city like I did as a police officer.
Eric Adams, Democratic mayoral candidate. Thank you so much for being with us on Good Day New York.
Thank you.